My name's Adelle Onyango, and welcome to another episode of Legally Clueless. No, seriously, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Hey you, I hope you're doing great. It must be your lucky week because this is the first time in over 5 years of our existence that you are getting 2 Legally Clueless episodes in 1 week. So I don't know what prayer you've prayed, what you've told your ancestors, what you've done to me. But lucky you. Welcome to this bonus episode. And you know what? I figured instead of giving you a midweek tease, how's about I throw you an entire episode because I just couldn't wait to have you listen to this conversation that I had. Okay. And it's about fitness and nutrition. So first question I want you to answer in the comments when you listen to this on whatever platform is, what does your fitness regime look like now? Please feel free to even say that it's non-existent. You can say it's thriving. You can say it's struggling. You can say it's consistent. You can say it's powerful. You know what I mean? Whatever it looks like now, let's just be honest with one another. This is a safe space. You can drop your comments in the comment section. I think for me, my fitness journey is consistent finally. And it is making me extremely proud of what my body can do. There are things my body is doing that other people may think to be very small or non-consequential. Inconsequential is the word. But to me, I'm like, wow, did my body just do that? Did I improve in this yoga pose over a couple of weeks? Like, I'm just learning how powerful my body is in my fitness regime. Now I want to hear from you. Drop it in the comments. And the reason is our first wellness talk of 2025 is all about fitness and nutrition. If you've always wanted to get your fitness on track, this is a talk for you. If you've always wanted to optimize your nutrition to help you meet your fitness goals or even just help you be healthier, this is a talk for you. And I'm very excited because our speaker is an incredible African woman from right here in Kenya. She's a certified personal trainer and a certified nutrition coach. She's an incredible person, and she has worked with many women to help them feel healthier and more powerful, help them hit their fitness and their nutrition goals. And her name is MITCHELLE Adagala. Oh, I love her. In a bit, you'll hear from her in this episode, just so you get to know her before we meet at the talk. But the talk is all about 3 things: nutrition, fitness, and women's health. Some of the things Michelle is going to be touching on: PCOS and fitness made simple. We want to simplify it so that you're armed with knowledge. She's going to talk about controlling hunger and cravings. Hey, this one, she may as well have put my name there because Tenakwa cravings. I need help. She's going to talk about nutrition's role in fitness, managing stress and metabolism. She's also going to be diving into science-backed and women-focused insights. Trust me, you are not going to find this information as easily as Michelle is going to give it to you at this wellness talk. Okay, so it's on the 29th of March, which is a Saturday. It is virtual. So wherever you are in our world, plug in. We want our entire Legally Clueless community to benefit from our wellness talks. And it's going to be at 10 a.m. East African time, and tickets are only 1,000 Kenya shillings. And what's standard at our wellness talks, because we did them the whole of last year, is yes, our speaker talks and shares knowledge with you, but we have a very special Q&A section where you can ask your questions anonymously or you can just ask them up front. And you finally have an expert at your disposal who understands our cultural context. And better than that, is an African woman like you and I. I hope I get to see you because I'm definitely going to be there. 29th of March, 10 a.m. Tickets are 1,000 bob and it's 10 a.m. East Africa time. Grab your tickets now. There's a link in the caption of this episode in the show notes, or you can go to Hustle Sasa or to our website. Immediately, we posted about this wellness talk on Monday. This has never happened before. Literally minutes after we posted and made the official announcement that this is a wellness talk and this is our speaker, we already got close to about 20% of our tickets sold out. So if I were you, I'd grab my ticket right now, nice and early. In case like me, you haven't interacted with Michelle Adagala before, I figured let's have her on the podcast. Let's get to know her a bit. Let's get to understand her story and also get a sense of what she's going to be talking to us about on the 29th. I hope you enjoy this episode and remember to share it with your girlfriends, share it with your sisters and your cousins and your aunts and your mom, because our physical health when it comes to fitness and nutrition is so important for us to live a healthy and comfortable life, and even just for our mental wellness. So do your sister a solid, be your sister's keeper, and share this episode with them. I hope you enjoy meeting Michelle as much as I did. Michelle Adagala, how are you doing? And the crowd went wild.
Adele, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. My goodness. How are you feeling first and foremost? 2025?
I'm feeling, okay, at the moment, a bit nervous.
Okay.
But so far, 2025 has been so good. Off to a great start.
I am so excited to meet you because I feel like even the fitness space for the very longest time has not only been dominated by Western experts, but when we bring it home to the continent, it's really male dominated.
It's a very male dominated field.
Yeah.
But really great to see more female trainers step into the scene.
So first we want to get to know you, Michelle, because you're going to be talking to us for our first wellness talk of 2025. And it's all things fitness as pertains to our female bodies, right? Yes. And so when did you fall in love with fitness? Because it's something that people have to be like, being me, dragged out of bed to do.
Not necessarily. I think that only happens if you aren't quite aligned with what the type of activity you're doing. It shouldn't feel forceful. It shouldn't feel like a drag, right? It should feel exciting, like something you're looking forward to every single day. That's personally how I feel. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's workout.
Wow. You know what? You are absolutely right, because a lot of times I would feel forced into like the latest fitness fad. But when I found like walks and hikes, I love them.
Exactly.
And your body is like this big muscle. It adapts.
Exactly.
And so then I would wake up and be like, ooh,
I can't wait to get this done.
You're right. You're right about that.
Just because people are going to the gym, doing CrossFit, doing Pilates, if it doesn't align with you, you don't have to quite do it. Find your groove,
Yeah.
If walking works for you, do it. If it's running, do it. Home workouts, I love home workouts. I stick to that.
So how did you find your groove?
Okay, so the story starts way back, way back when I was literally a toddler. I remember very distinctively being in the car with my dad, and we'd be going to pick my mom up from the gym.
Wow.
And I just watch her walk from the gym, feeling so vibrant and like, talking to her friends. Like, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same time, I was just like in awe, like, okay, mom, where is this place that you go to that is filling you with so much joy and energy, So I took note of that. it stuck with me for a while. My dad is a doctor, so we've always grown up in a house where we're quite health conscious, but not in a very restrictive way.
Yeah.
Just being very conscious of your body, your health, the functions, and how to take best care of yourself, right? So fast forward to 2011, my mom still was a very avid, on and off, of course, but very avid fitness enthusiast.
Wow.
So at home we had these tapes.
Oh God, was it the 80s
yes.
ones? Oh my God, my mom had one of those, and I used to like watch them, but most of the time I'd be like, oh, that's such a funky outfit.
Yeah, like the outfits, and it's just so fun and hip. Yeah, colorful.
Yes.
Fun and hip. They're just dancing, you know. So the coach was called Tiffany Roth.
Okay.
And my sisters and I were just so like locked in. Every evening we'd do the Tiffany Roth workouts, just like cutesy, fun, dancing, shake your hips, you know. So that's what I started with in 2011 till around 2014. In 2014, my mom, yet again, invited me for a workout at the gym. She was like, hey, I'm going to the gym. Why don't you come with me? I was like, okay, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I tagged along, and she was with her coach. As soon as I entered the gym, honestly, just viewing the dumbbells on the rack, there's just something about the gym environment itself, the machinery, the free weights. It could be weird for some people, but to me, it just draws me in. I didn't join my mom for her workout with her coach. I just wandered off by myself. I picked up a dumbbell, did like a row, and I just immediately loved it. I knew that, this is what I want to do. The feeling I got from it specifically, I felt empowered. I felt strong. I felt confident, like, whoa, Yani, your body can do this and do it so well, and it's so enjoyable. I was like, I want to pursue this. I just want to do it. I want to know more. What exactly is this? And I wasn't even aware of what I'm doing, but I was like, I need to get into this. So that continued on from 2014. A year later, I decided, you know what? I want to get a coach.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got myself a trainer, and I'm so thankful for my coach because, you know, he kind of taught me how to be a good coach too, because I learned so much from him. It's those types of coaches who don't only, they just don't walk you through the workout. They also teach you. You get to understand why you're doing what you're doing, how you're supposed to do it, for what reason are you doing it.
I love, that why empowers you, because you're not only learning this exercise in its own in a vacuum, you're actually learning why this is almost like an act of self-love for your body, because it's doing something incredible for your body.
1,000%.
And I think that why is like a lot of teachers or coaches, etc., even in different industries, forget to tell you about that. And that's where the power is, right?
Yes. So I really love that. I really love that about my coach. And the more he explained to me the process of programming, the scientific approach to fitness and training, and how things follow a certain order, my thirst for the knowledge just grew stronger and stronger and stronger. And it actually made a big difference working with a coach, because now I wasn't freestyling anymore. I started seeing, okay, my body is changing. Like I'm actually starting to see progress.
Yes, and that's always like the best.
It is so
even with like a little stretch, because I do yoga in the mornings, and like the first month, there's this stretch that I'm struggling. And then after a couple of weeks or whatever, you see a different movement in your body.
Opens up.
Yes, and you're like, what
it's
is
so
that?
exciting.
I feel you on that.
It's so beautiful, right? Like actually seeing what your body is capable of. It's so exciting. Anyway, so after working with my coach, I decided to now, like, I need to quench this thirst for this. Like, I want to know more. I want to know everything about this. So I took a deep dive into the books. studied, got very well acquainted with the human anatomy, the physiology, just everything to do with fitness. Got my certs, got my papers, and I was finally now a certified personal trainer. And I wanted to take time to apply that knowledge to myself first before I'm able to offer my service to, my wonderful clients.
Yeah.
So that continued on, and in 2020, I got to train my first clients.
Tell me about that, because I was going to ask, how is it when you got take me to when you get your first client? What are the emotions and what was that like?
Obviously, you're feeling very nervous.
Yeah.
Because you're taking someone through a journey where they're trusting you with helping them improve their health and their fitness. And you have to turn back to yourself and trust yourself that you have the knowledge, you have the expertise, and they're trusting you. So also trust yourself, It was wonderful. Acquiring clients for me wasn't quite a hassle because I had already started sharing my knowledge online on my platforms on Instagram, on Twitter. So my approach with training clients had been it's science-based and also very holistic because I put the message out there saying that movement is medicine. Nutrition
I like that.
is medicine, yes, because it is.
Yeah.
You can heal your body literally through exercise and nutrition. So those are my top two approaches when it comes to fitness. Also sustainability and enjoyment, right? It has to be sustainable. You have to feel as if it's something you can go on and on and on with. Yeah. And then enjoyment. If it really isn't in alignment with you, then find something else. Fitness is so broad. We don't have to be at the gym. I can coach you from home. That's just the essence of it.
I really love that because then it makes you in control.
Yes.
And you feel like you're owning the process of what your fitness journey could look like. Most of the times what we get told is there's only one way. And I remember I used to start off hard. Like I used to start off
like
as though
all or nothing, yeah.
And I would go so hard, my body would get shocked. Right?
It happens.
One day we're chilling, the next day you want to run, I don't know how many kms.
Yeah.
Sister, take us slow, you know?
Slow down a bit.
And then I would feel like there's a problem with me when the body's like, whoa, what's happening, right? And then I would stop. And, just even understanding how sustainability, that's really important. And enjoyment.
Yes. You have to have fun.
Yeah.
You have to have fun
Yeah.
while you're working towards your fitness goals. It doesn't have to be a daunting, just heavy. Of course, the heaviness and the exhaustion will be there to some degree. But for the most part, it has to be fun. You have to have fun.
So how was the response from your first client?
The
first couple of
were fantastic. It's quite the experience training clients in person compared to training them online.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see, when you're deep diving into the books and what you're being told on paper, things change a bit when you have to apply that knowledge to an individual person. Because you are not the same as the other person.
Context is different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to now alter and change things to fit your situation accordingly. So in as much as there's that tweaking here and there, it was honestly so enjoyable because it's like I'm getting to learn you and to learn how to work best with you. Training the clients in person, honestly, was so, so fulfilling.
Yeah.
I was literally waking up every day at 3:30 to make it to the gym at 5 to train my first client.
Look at me being like 3:30 p.m.
a.m.
because I couldn't fathom a.m. I'm like, we're all asleep, Michelle.
3:30 in the morning, we're up.
With excitement.
Yes, every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to catch my 5 a.m. client. But then things changed after COVID hit.
And then the gyms were like one of the first places that shut down.
Oh, goodness. They were like, okay, now we have to practice social distancing, which is very difficult in a gym.
And when you're training.
Exactly, because I need to be close to you to show you like the mechanics and the formulas technique, you know.
Yeah.
So after some time with the gyms closing, I decided, it's time to be innovative. I launched my website.
Great.
ThriveByMichelle.com. And now the focus was on home-based workout programs. And that was, it just opened me up to a whole new world of amazing, beautiful, wonderful clients. My clients are mostly women. And honestly, the amount of support the women have rallied behind me with, my heart explodes with gratitude. I can very easily say that the highlight of my career has just been the support, the genuine support the women have shown me, especially in this very male-dominated field.
Yeah.
Having women rally behind you and be like, yes, that's my coach. I trust your word. I'm going to support your business and sign up for your coach. It's so beautiful. On top of that, actually seeing them transform and gain, confidence and just step truly into their power. Because training isn't just about a physical transformation. The mental and emotional part of it.
I feel like that's even bigger, right?
To be honest, yes. Yes. I would say that the mental and emotional aspect you get, the strength and the resilience, oh God, it's life-changing.
Even when you figure out, because I remember when I started walking for an hour every morning last year around maybe August. And I used to be like, oh, I love my sleep. Don't wake me up before this time. I'm not going to do it. And I started doing it for 1 week. And you kind of the tracking apps. See you've hit your mileage, your steps, and then the heart points. And the more you're getting the circles, you're just like,
this is me.
Yes. Actually, that is the comment. I was like, I cannot believe I have the capacity to do this. And then I said, you know what? Let's add yoga in this, because look, we did that. Why not? And you actually, your mind becomes your best friend. I don't even know how.
Me neither. It's like a complete mindset shift. It just expands with whatever you're doing, you're putting yourself through, and also in a very loving way. It has to come from a place of love, not from a place of, you're being so looking down on yourself. The change has to come from a place of love. Like, I am deserving of this. I'm deserving of good health. I can show up for myself. I can be consistent with myself. So I'm going to do it.
I truly believe taking care of your physical body, both in terms of exercise, in how much sleep you give your body, in what you ingest, both actual food and beverage, but also what are you watching? What are you listening to, right?
Yes.
I think that is a huge percentage of self-love.
It is.
It's not the face masks. That's chill mode, okay? We're just relaxing.
Tiny, part of the equation,
But the actual steps you take in rooting for your body, that is self-love to me.
The long-term aspect of it, So that has been fitness. The way just my clients have been receptive of it, it was so amazing. So dialing it back to 2021, I decided that I want to diversify even more and be a bit more innovative. I launched my activewear brand.
Okay, what?
Yes.
Thank God. I did not even know about this, and I have been looking for... Please... Insert commercial here. What is it called? Where can we get it? What is available?
It was ThriveByMichelle.com. Thrive by Michelle Activewear. It ran for 1 year though. It was something very experimental for me. In as much as the reception was amazing, I just felt like, okay, I can't truly continue with this and give it the level of excellence I wanted to get there. So I called myself out and I was like, we can stop here.
That's wonderfully self-aware. That is incredible. Yeah,
I don't have to take it further. I have achieved what I wanted to.
Love that.
And now I closed shop. Yes.
But how was that experience? Because also that's a thing, like finding activewear.
Yeah, I mean, running the economic climate in itself right now, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, and from 2021 things is when things started trickling down with the economic climate. So it was quite the experience. I really grew a lot in terms of just the business expertise part of it. Because then again, being a one-man team, you're the person sourcing the products. You're talking to the
manufacturers. You're the IT.
MDQs do what you're the IT photo shoot. Literally, I was setting up everything in my house. Did the photos by myself. So it was quite a lot.
All while still coaching.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was very, very enjoyable. I felt like, wow, I actually did that. And I got to adorn my beautiful clients with the beautiful activewear. It was just a highlight for me too.
This is incredible. So, and also that was we were still in the depths of COVID. Because 2021, we still were just like, what is happening?
Social distancing, yes.
And so we go into 2022. So you finish off with the activewear brand. You take it off your list.
Yes.
What has happened between 2022 and where we are now?
So in 2022, it dawned on me that fitness and nutrition cannot coexist without each other. They work synergistically. Like you cannot just work out and leave your nutrition to the side. They both need each other in equal measure. So I decided to, once again, deep dive into the books. For me, the knowledge part of it is very essential. I follow a very science-based approach. I do not want to freestyle with anyone's health. Yeah. So deep diving back to the books, getting the necessary credentials, studying and deeply understanding the ins and outs of nutrition in regards to fitness and coaching. That is what I spent my time doing while still training my clients virtually. So I came out the other end as a certified nutrition coach, and I wanted once again to apply the knowledge and expertise to myself first. Yeah. Before applying it to my clients. Yeah.
Because you have to come from a point of knowledge and like you have to trust what it is you're doing.
Yes, I have to understand the process first and not use people as like lab rats. Yeah. That is not okay. Yeah. So that was 2022, 2023. I was still training, coaching clients virtually, and then last year at around May, June, I just stopped. I just paused for a moment. I had a look at myself in the mirror because it's like I was for so long. The focus was on my clients, being there for my clients, tending to my clients. Everyone has everything correctly. I got you. I can serve you. I can do this for you. What about me? Like, I'm the coach here and I'm not tending to myself as I should.
How can you pour out of an empty cup?
Exactly. Yeah. And at that point, my health, I had let myself go a bit with my health. I was like, okay, it's time to do a circle back here and focus on myself. So from June onwards, I decided to embark on a fat loss journey. Actually, I've lost 18 kgs as of today.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
18
okay.
kgs.
Weight loss is a huge issue.
Yes.
And a very valid, huge issue. We can't throw it to the side and say, oh, don't worry about that. You're focusing on the wrong. It's very valid.
It's valid.
What was that journey like for you?
Oh, God. First, it was exciting.
Yeah.
It was really exciting seeing the
you
science
can just
in
tell,
play.
like, her eyes light up whenever Michelle is talking about, like, like, oh my God, I went to the gym.
I love it so much. I love fitness so much.
And it's wonderful to see you light up, I have to say. Like, you found your passion.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so firstly, I want to say that there's a huge difference between weight loss and fat loss.
Someone tried to tell me that, Shiv Simani.
Yes.
Last year at our wellness talk, he kept telling me fat loss.
Yes.
Not weight loss.
Not weight loss.
Yeah.
not weight loss.
So maybe explain the difference for someone who's like, what do you mean? Yeah.
So weight loss is a term which is typically used when people talk about wanting to, shed weight. But the weight you're shedding at the moment is not necessarily body weight, but you're focusing on body fat. If you're talking about weight loss, you're talking about fat loss, muscle loss, a decrease in your bone density, right? So you're not only losing the body fat, you're also losing muscle and bone, which is very dangerous, a very dangerous place to be in, especially as a woman.
This is so, I don't want to move far from what you're talking on, but I have to bring in something I saw on TikTok.
Yes.
Now, it's controversial around the world and even here in Kenya now, the use of Ozempic. And I'm not sure if it's for weight loss or for fat loss. Is it for fat loss?
I would say it's for weight loss.
For weight loss. Okay. And I watched this heartbreaking video of this girl talk about losing bone density after long-term use of that. And I remember just being like, oh my goodness, like, hello doctors, we need
it is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it places you at a high risk for osteoporosis, bone fractures. Oh, you never want to get there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we focus on fat loss, whereby now we're focusing solely on decreasing your body fat percentage, right? While building and preserving as much muscle as possible.
So it's more targeted. Like we know what it is we are targeting. We're not just saying weight loss.
Yeah, you're not just dropping the numbers on the scale.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Yes.
All right. What does a fat loss, was that the journey you were on?
That's the journey I was on, yes.
So what does a fat loss journey look like?
Fat loss looks like, firstly, being in a calorie deficit.
Okay.
Calorie deficit is basically eating a bit less food than what keeps you at your current weight.
Okay.
Yes. So you reduce your calories by about 10 to 20%. For example, if you're eating 2,000 calories per day, you drop it to about 1,800 calories per day. That's just an example.
Okay.
And within those 1,800 calories, you have your 3 macronutrients.
Okay.
Your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats.
Okay.
Those 3 need to be split within those 1,800 calories, but in a very specific way.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to ask, equally or like...
So if it's equally, you can do that if you're maintaining your current weight. You're at maintenance calories.
Okay.
If your goal is fat loss, your protein needs to be the dominant macronutrient.
Okay.
If your goal is building muscle or gaining weight, your carbohydrates will be just at par with the proteins up there. Yeah. So you're in a calorie deficit, a high protein calorie deficit.
Got you.
You are resistance training.
Okay.
So by resistance training, I mean you could either be at a gym, lifting weights, if that's what you'd like. You could also try out Pilates. That is a form of resistance training. You could also try swimming. It is resistance training. You can use your body weight, calisthenics, home workouts, There's options. There's so many options. You don't have to run to the gym, do CrossFit or traditional weightlifting just because it's what's most popular or what people are gravitating more towards. Yeah. You can handle your own body weight and it can serve as excellent resistance.
Yeah. This is so interesting. So we have protein at the top.
Yes.
We have high resistance. What else do we need on this list?
A bit of cardio. Cardio is now your final last resort option.
Okay.
And people get it mixed up because immediately as soon as someone would say they want to lose weight or drop their body fat, they'd resort to like running or
intense.
Intense.
I remember this what is it called? There was this home workout that it wasn't called intensity by some guy.
Sean
what was it called?
Insanity.
Yeah.
I remember.
I'm going all in now.
For real, you're going insane during the workout, So that is why people resort to like, okay, I'm going to run at 21K, I'm going to do this, I'm going to, But with fat loss, you need to keep the intensity low. Walking is a better option.
Interesting.
do your 10K steps per day, right? Plus your resistance training and the high protein calorie deficit diet. Yes.
This is so interesting because I think not only from a point of, wow, I'm getting knowledge, but also from a point of you're reclaiming power. Like, you know, and even when you look at what you eat, I think for a very long time we separate that from our fitness journey, right? Also because it looks complicated. It really like social media makes it look like math.
Don't drink this milk. Eat this. Don't eat this vegetable. You know, like, okay.
I have listened to many of those things, and there's a point where I told myself, I mean, something has to kill me.
Exactly.
So now I'm tired.
Like watch Abasi Kai. Mimi, you know.
It's too much. So this is so interesting. And so you did that. Do you have any cheat days during this period?
So I believe in moderation and sustainability, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
However, when you are in a fat loss phase, you have to compromise a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what does compromise look like?
Maybe compromise isn't the correct word, but you have to just hold back a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Just be uncomfortable a bit for a short while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But typically, I'd allow myself a day in a month. You know, the more I improved my nutrition, the less cravings I got. The less I thought about, I want a cake, I want a pizza, I want, you know. I just felt like, okay, I'm up, I'm eating this and it's nourishing and fulfilling to me. Yeah. But obviously, while you are in a fat loss phase, it's going to reach a point where your body adapts and you stop seeing progress. You plateau. Yeah.
And it can be not disorienting and you can even feel
very
like
confusing.
A bit like because you were on a high
hey, we're making progress and then all of a sudden it's been a couple of weeks, what's happening? So that is called metabolic adaptation. When your body adapts to the calorie deficit, that becomes now it's normal.
And so now do you have to now, since this new level is your baseline, and let's say it was like 1,800 calories. Now you have to go down to like 1,600.
Now that is what that's where people make the mistake.
Oh, so you don't?
You don't.
I was like, I got this math.
Because how much longer will you do it? You'll go to 1,600, then 14,000, 500. What is going on? You're starving. You're hungry. And that wrecks your hormones very massively, especially for women. You can lose your period from severely under eating. So most people tend to think that, okay, I'll decrease my calories and increase my exercise. But that's just a recipe for disaster. So that's why within a fat loss phase, you need to take diet breaks.
Oh, so you don't just stay on this diet like endlessly?
No.
Okay.
Every 12 to 14 weeks, take a 2-week break. And in that 2-week break, you increase your calories. Eat.
So then when you go back to your diet,
the
you
deficit
will start
is
seeing,
efficient. Yes.
All right.
The science is so interesting.
This is so interesting because I would initially have thought that just keep going.
By the end of the day, you're eating a banana. Like, no. You can eat so much more food and lose weight.
Now, I love that you've brought in hormones because especially for women, right? This is something we have to think about when it comes to our fitness journey. Yes. And are there certain hormones and information on hormones that women have to be aware of in terms of fitness, whether it's on your fat loss journey, correcting myself, or other goals that we may have when we come to you to be our coach? What do we need to be aware of in terms of hormones and fitness where they meet each other?
Firstly, I'd like to talk about cortisol, stress.
Okay, stress hormone. Oh my goodness.
Stress is highly, highly overlooked when it comes to the role it plays in your fitness. I mean, when you're working out, you're stressing your body out. There's a good type of stress and there's this external factors. Yeah. You know, things outside of your control, financial issues, your personal life, what and what, you know. If you're not managing your stress correctly, it tends to make you to be more prone to insulin resistance.
Interesting. Okay, break that down.
Insulin resistance is typically, let me explain it this way. For example, you eat a banana. That's carbohydrates, specifically carbohydrates. You eat a piece of carbs. Your body breaks it down, digests it. The energy now enters your bloodstream through in a form of glucose. Yeah. The sugar cannot stay in your bloodstream. It needs to be packed into your muscles, your cells, your liver. Whatever's extra is then stored by your energy as body fat.
Got you.
So whenever you eat the carbs, your pancreas signals to release insulin, and the insulin comes to your bloodstream to shuttle the glucose, pack it into the muscles so that you can use it for activity. Higher. Now, if you have insulin resistance, you will eat the same amount of carbohydrates. The energy will enter into your bloodstream. Insulin is released by the pancreas, but your cells are like, hey,
we don't know this guy.
Yeah, I'm not taking that glucose. Yeah, so you end up having high blood sugar. And since the cells cannot take up the insulin, it's stored as body fat, specifically around your midsection area. The visceral body fat, the fat around your organs, the stubborn body fat, belly fat. That happens a lot if you have insulin resistance, especially in ladies who have PCOS. It is something they really, really struggle with, right? So cortisol, the stress hormone, if it's not kept at bay, then it'll be very difficult for you to see progress. You need to now resort to finding a way to manage your stresses, therapy, breath work, journaling, going for a walk even, very, very important.
Do you know why I like this? It's because, again, someone who was having a problem with stress and didn't have information and was trying to hit certain goals with their body could be thinking this thing or this regime, this fitness, it's not working for me. What is wrong with me, right?
Yeah.
When there's something like cortisol that's disrupting, and maybe your stress management just needs a bit of tweaking.
Yes.
That is so interesting. So cortisol, we have to be aware of.
Be aware of it. And actually, when it comes to the hormones, sleep plays a very major part in regulating your hormone profile.
Yeah.
So many people overlook sleep. Hey, don't tell me you're one of those people.
No, and I've said this on the podcast, and it's going to be coming up on another show that we're currently producing, where I'm getting my doctor to come on.
Yes,
and last year she was one of the speakers at the Wellness Talks. I met her after not sleeping for 3 nights.
Whoa.
Right? Which was shocking to me because I have never had a problem with sleep. Like, you could tell me to fall asleep on this set. I'll push this microphone and I'm good to go. And I was like, what is this? I had tried everything. White noise.
Melatonin.
Melatonin was doing nothing. Fuck, I was even now Googling to understand. This is melatonin.
Yeah.
What's happening?
It should be working.
I had counted. I had listened to, I think, white noise or whatever, colored noise.
Yeah.
Melatonin. Nothing. I literally was just. And why I knew I had to go see a doctor is not only my thoughts were so dark. It felt like, and it turned out I was in the middle of a depressive episode, but I wasn't tired during the day.
Okay.
So I was like, something is terribly wrong because even my body is not responding to lack of sleep.
Yes.
Like, I'll show up.
Go.
Yeah. And I remember going to her, getting my diagnosis, and she said, I first need to fix your sleep. And while you're sleeping, your hormones are balancing themselves out.
Yes.
Because you were not sleeping, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
And I had such high levels of cortisol. She said, you could count
what?
all you wanted. Like, I was counting to 100. And she was like, you could take all the
Counting
melatonin
the
you wanted. But nothing was going to help you because your hormones were super imbalanced. And so now I started seeing sleep as many things, but one being the moment where my body
adjusts and resets.
Yeah.
It goes back to baseline.
Exactly. Yeah. And now I'm like, I do not mess with my sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
Sleep is so important. You could do everything correctly, go to the gym 3 days a week, do your 10K steps every day, you're eating properly, but if you're not sleeping...
My friends. And so now I'm at 9 hours, imagine. And I don't even...
Me too. Me too.
Because I heard a doctor say, you might say, I need 6 hours. But she said, but your organs may need 8.
It's true.
So when they say between 7 to 9, which I believe now is what the recommended times are, there's a reason.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, hey.
Don't mess with your sleep.
My friends will be like, you sleep at 9.
By 9,
like
I'm in bed.
In boarding school. I'm like, yes, I do.
By 9 p.m. I'm in bed. Sorry, snooze. You know, so
I love that you brought up sleep. So important.
Compromising on that. Yeah. So another thing is to do with insulin resistance. The main problem with insulin resistance let me just say this. With insulin resistance, it can be reversed. That's the saving grace. Like it's not a forever thing.
Yeah.
Unless you let it go on for too long and it develops into type 2 diabetes. Because then now your blood sugar is haywire. It cannot be just moderated by the insulin your pancreas is producing. So even on Twitter the other day, I was talking about, so many people are pre-diabetic and they have no idea. Because diabetes doesn't just pop out of nowhere. You become pre-diabetic and then you enter diabetes. Yeah. So having those routine blood work to get to see if everything is in check really goes a long way.
It can help you stop something early.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then now, once it transitions into diabetes, type 2, that is something you have to manage.
Yeah, for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yes. So insulin resistance, you can minimize it by eating a high protein diet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hearing protein is getting really good reviews here. Okay.
Yeah, that's why honestly the bodybuilder gym bros praise protein so much. Yeah. Honestly, it's like the building blocks of your muscle, right? Protein is so important when it comes to regulating your metabolic health. Yeah. Firstly, it has a higher thermic effect of food.
What does that mean?
That means that when you eat protein, you burn more calories when you're digesting it compared to when you eat carbs or fat. Okay. So if you eat a high protein diet, you're burning tons of calories just from digesting it.
And it's like a chill way to get rid of the calories.
Yeah, exactly. Because your body is working really hard to digest it. Secondly, it regulates your blood sugar levels. Thirdly, it keeps you fuller for longer. So it's very important to hit your protein macros for the day. Yeah, by protein macros for the day, I mean everyone has a different protein target that they need to achieve every day. Okay. Based on your height, your weight, your goal weight, your physical activity levels, right? Yeah. Like for me, I'm eating 150 grams of protein per day. You could need 120 grams. The other person could need 96. Yeah. So it's those small things that you really need to take into consideration.
And be intentional about it is also what I'm hearing.
Yes.
You don't just eat food for eating food's sake. Food is powerful. Make it work for whatever your goals are and what you need, what your body needs in that moment.
Yes.
So as we come closer to the end of our conversation, what are burning myths about fitness that you feel women, specifically African women, need to know about?
That if you're weightlifting, you'll suddenly turn into Hulk.
Which is gorgeous. Have you seen your arms? My goodness. that's also another myth. I would like to dispel that, like, any muscle on a woman is not
honestly
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
I love a muscular look on women. You just look strong.
Yeah.
You feel amazing.
Yeah.
The muscle really takes you a long way, especially as you're aging and especially as you're getting closer to menopause and after, it regulates your hormones perfectly. You get to preserve bone density as you're lifting weights as well. Your bone density increases, so it puts you at a lower risk for osteoporosis and bone fractures, especially if you're a mom and you've given birth multiple times. The babies take
a lot of you.
So you need to really be intentional about preserving your bone density. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest. Meaning we're just talking like this, but I'm burning tons of calories, So increasing your muscle mass percentage is what will preserve it. It's what will support your long-term fat loss goals. You don't want to just lower your body fat percentage and then you still have more body fat than muscle in your body. You need to have a bit more muscle and body fat just lingering over there. Because the body fat is still important for women, especially for hormone regulation and reproductive purposes. Even if you do not plan on having children, your body still needs a certain level of healthy body fat on you.
That's another myth. I feel like so a good myth you're dispelling there.
Exactly. Even if your goal is to lower your body fat percentage, don't have the aim to be like really lean to the point of where it's just muscle. You still need a healthy amount of body fat on you, and do not be scared. Do not be scared to have some body fat.
It has a purpose.
It has a purpose, and it's healthy for your metabolic and hormonal health.
I love that.
So please lift the weights. For me, honestly, my foundation during those years, I was strength training. I was doing 120 kilo deadlifts.
Wow.
120 kilo squats, 300 kilo leg press. I loved it.
Honestly, you can see Michelle. For those of you who are listening, her eyes light up when she's talking about weights and lifting and in the gym. You can see that you love this, and I just love that for you.
Thank you. And even if it isn't at the gym, I've really learned how to embrace home workouts because it's not every day that I can make it to the gym. Actually, I haven't been to the gym since November 2023.
Wow. But you've still been working out at home.
And I achieved my fat loss goals 100% from home.
Wow.
So using my body weight and my home workout programs. So it's been fantastic, honestly. Do not be afraid to resistance train. Do not be afraid to lift heavy. Do not be afraid to, this thing of, you look like a man, you'll buff up. It takes years, decades. Most women don't even get to that because we don't have that same amount of testosterone in our bodies as men do. It's nothing to worry about unless you're using performance enhancing drugs. You won't achieve that look. You will not be buff. Yes.
I think we made such a great decision to have you as a speaker at our wellness talk.
Thank you.
And we obviously in this episode can't cover everything, but at the wellness talk, there is going to be opportunities for our community to be able to ask questions. And in the description, if you're watching this on YouTube, or in the show notes, if you're listening to this, there is a link for you to get all the information on the wellness talk. It's virtual, so wherever you are in the world, you can chime in and get to learn more from Michelle when it comes to matters fitness, but also nutrition. Like those two things cannot be separated, right? And so just click the link, grab your tickets to 1,000 Bob. All the information on dates, time are in the show notes or in the description of this video. But I wanted to say, gosh, first, thank you. Like, this is so much you've given me. Do you know what I'm trying to think about my notes, but I'm thinking about protein.
It happens. It gets to that point.
So I'm like going through my fridge right now, trying to be like,
what's the high protein meal? What's the high protein meal? Yeah.
Because I have a very unhealthy love for potatoes. which are carbs. And so I'm like, yeah, I know there's definitely potatoes in the house.
No, don't get me wrong. You can still eat your carbs, by the way. And for me, I always tell my clients, please, we're not cutting out carbs.
Yeah.
We're not cutting out an entire macronutrient which your body needs.
Yeah.
My clients are eating chapati, pilau, roasted potatoes.
I have chapo in my fridge too.
Yeah, and still losing weight.
Yeah.
It needs to be sustainable. That's the thing. And your body still needs the macro.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is my first time meeting you, Michelle, and I'm just loving all the information that you're sharing, because I think you're breaking it down in a way that empowers a woman who's watching this to take control of her fitness journey.
It's
right?
very possible, yeah.
Yeah, and it's powerful.
It is.
It's almost like an act of
self-love.
Of self-love and reclaiming your power.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And so if there is a woman watching this, she's going to be coming for the wellness talk. She's at the beginning of her fitness journey, trying to place herself, because I know I battled with that. I would look at all the gym content and be like,
it can be
I don't see myself there. I see run clubs and I'm like, I don't also see myself there.
Yeah.
And then Pilates, I see it and I'm like, I'm not sure I see myself. So you battle. You're like, maybe it's not for me. And there's no other option. What's one thing you can leave that woman with before they come for your wellness talk? What's the one message you want to leave them with?
Do not complicate things. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be very complex. Stick to what is simple. Stick to what is sustainable. Even if it looks like the easiest thing, even if it looks like 5,000 steps per day, and adding a bit more protein to your meals in your breakfast, a bit more veggies in your lunch, it is a gradual increment. It is a gradual change you're making. It's not an all-in, you're diving and things have to be 100% different from today onwards. Make the small increments and stick to what is sustainable, even if it's not what is most popular.
That part.
You don't have to join a run club. If you're not into running, walk.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the gym. If that's not possible, open YouTube, the 30-minute workouts you can do. As long as you can stay consistent with it, consistency, and that consistency comes from sustainability, you'll go a lot further compared to going to the gym once this week, putting it off, and then
6
going
months,
then going again. Stick to what is sustainable. And from that, you'll see that your body will start changing. Your hormones will start regulating. You'll be feeling more empowered because those rings close, the rings close and you see like, okay, I'm the one who's showing up every day. I can actually do this, You empower yourself through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And even seeing how, let's say, movement and exercise even improves your sleep.
1,000%. That's why I'm in bed by 9 p.m.
with no stress.
Yeah.
And so there's just so many benefits mentally. What it does for your mental wellness.
Yes.
You single-handedly can help you maneuver a lot of things.
Yes.
There's
so much.
So much to gain. There's nothing to lose, but so much to gain.
Yeah.
And for this year, honestly, here at Legally Clueless, it's our mission to be able to help African women meet their healthiest, highest selves,
Yes.
And we can't not talk about physical wellness while we're on that journey. So thank you, Michelle, for coming on our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
This was incredible. I am so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
So proud of you. We are going to put all the links to your website and your social media platforms in the show notes in case someone wants to reach out directly to you. We're also in the show notes going to put more information on the wellness talk so you can come and listen to more on what Michelle is going to share around fitness, nutrition, and the things you need to be aware of on what your fitness journey needs to look like for you. Thank you for watching this and for listening to this, because it means that you are interested in meeting a healthier version of yourself, especially when it comes to your physical wellness. So this is step one. I really hope to see you at the Wellness Talk, virtual, click the link in the description to get more details and to hear more from Michelle. Right now, though, I always say this, I have no doubt that you have everything it takes to heal. You have everything it takes to meet your highest form, and we just want to be there to support you. That's it for this episode of Legally Clueless. You can share this podcast with your friends. You can keep it for yourself. I'm not judging. Just make sure you're here next week for the next episode.